Okay, we are now live. Good evening, everybody. I hope you can see us. I hope everyone's fine. We'll give it a minute to see who's going to be watching us. It's telling me nobody's watching us at the moment.
How sad.
So maybe they're all watching the football or some other
How's
paranormal
this
thing.
football off?
Scotland are
Off?
playing.
On.
Scotland are playing tonight. Oh, we've got one person watching us. So we'll give it a minute to see if people join in, and then we'll kick off. Evening, Mark. How are you? Hope you're well. Okay. There's Lynn. Good evening, Chris. Hope all's good. And I have let everybody down tonight because I haven't done a what's in the bag. I remembered about, you see, it's not only you, Lynn. I'd remembered 10 minutes before that I hadn't done one. I kind of scrambled, looked around and thought, no, I can't find anything that we haven't used already. So we'll not have a what's in the bag tonight.
You'd find someone, but I've not got a bag to put it in.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll see what we'll see what folk have got to say for themselves tonight. Anyway, got a few more people on now, so that's good. Just wait for Lynn to return, and we'll kick things off. Evening, Emma. Hope all's good.
Right, we could do a what's in the box.
All right, what's in the box tonight, folks? So Lynn's in charge tonight of that. So what's in the box? Get your guesses in.
Grab something, so. What's in the box? Hello, freebie.
Okay, well, so we'll kick things off. We update on what we've been up to. We've been to Ardasir Graveyard and Viewfield House in Nairn, which is Nairn Museum, for the Nairn Book Festival. So they were really interesting events. People seem to enjoy themselves. Ardasir was interesting. I mean, I know our group, Zara, we may have actually communicated with the lady herself, Isabel Gowdy, or we, not us, some of our guests. What I really did find fascinating was when the lady had said, you know, she believed she was talking to somebody called Isabel with the dowsing rods. And, she then asked Isabel if she needed a hug, and the dowsing rods turned round and hugged the lady. So, and then 5 minutes later, she asked the same question and it did it again. So, yeah. So it was really, really good. And I know that there was a few personal experiences for people at that one as well, which was really good. And then we went to Viewfield House. I can see that actually Linda, who's just saying hi to everyone, Linda was there with us at Viewfield House. And I know that she had a few experiences there. We kind of got the run around, we think, from some children in the house. Yeah, it was another really, really interesting night. A location that was quite challenging because it's quite a small location. We had about 20 folk there, so it was a bit of a challenge, but we got there. So yeah, it was all good. Yeah. Evening, and we have got, who else have we got? We've got Peter, and I've got this Lindsay. Lindsay's a bit poorly tonight, so she's not actually joining us online. So everybody wish Lindsay best wishes to get well soon. Hope you're feeling better soon. Only in Scotland do you have to explain the difference between we and we. Yeah, apologies. We as in we as a group, or we as in small, tiny. So yeah, thanks for keeping us right there, Eric. That's excellent. So that's kind of where we're at. We've got we've been doing some private stuff as well. Hopefully some more private stuff coming up, and then we have got, as we've been kind of plugging on the pages, we're helping out some events which I think are all pretty much sold out, the ones that have been announced so far. So Touchwood, there's a couple of Hocus Pocus Paranormal nights there. That's Touchwood House in Inverness, the 14th and 15th. There was, I think, some tickets left for the 14th, but not many. So if anyone is interested, please get in touch with Touchwood House as soon as possible, because I said there isn't many left with that. We are hoping our good friend Mark Wallbank's going to be over from New Zealand in November, so we're hoping to maybe do something at Touchwood with Mark. Originally, we were looking at doing a paranormal weekend there at Touchwood, but I think logistically and financially, it was just too much, and certainly too much to try and organise in such a short period of time. So we had approached a few people. Those people didn't come back to us, and so it's just far too short now to arrange something else. So, but that's not to say we won't do something in the future. And we are then at Pool House on the 29th. So that's Pool House in Pool U. We've mentioned that one already. That one is fully booked. It's a free event, but it is fully booked at the moment. If you are interested in going, let us know, and if there is any cancellations, I'm sorry, my computer's just trying to restart. If there is any cancellations, we'll get in touch. But as I said, that is a unique opportunity to visit a very historic site and get a free tour to the house. So the house is open through the summer months for tours, but this is a chance to actually go in and get an exclusive free tour and a ghost hunt. And Lynn and myself have visited and had some activity when we were there, so we're really up for this one and really can't wait. So yeah, that's that one. And then you'll have seen we're returning to Durn House on the 26th of November. Again, that's the only one this year. So if anyone is interested in that one, get in touch with Durn House. I don't know how well tickets for that one are going, so at the moment, but as I said, Durn House is always good. It's always good fun. So I'm sure it'll be a good night. Still waiting for details on Inveraray Jail. As soon as we have them, we'll let you know. So that one's due on the 10th of December. And we today have just been contacted about doing another event on the 17th of November. I'm not going to give any details at the moment because I don't have any. So, but it is, I do know the building. It's a very historic building, and it is a building that is reportedly haunted, and it has been investigated by at least one group in the past. So again, this will be a public investigation to benefit a local organisation. So I'm quite excited. It's actually a location that we've previously tried to get into. So yeah, really looking forward to that. So that's kind of where we are at that at the moment. We've got one other private case on the books at the moment as well that we're looking at, which again we're actually quite excited about, and hopefully we'll be able to tell you a bit more about that one going forward as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, so let me just catch up with everybody's messages because they're flying in. And as Lindsay saying there, yeah, I've got some good events coming up. Evening, Stephen. So tonight we thought we would try and theme it a little rather than me just blabbering on as normal. So I think Zara and Lynn are going to talk a little about skinwalkers, yeah, which I will be honest, we've mentioned them on here on the past briefly, but actually I know very little about, so I'm actually looking forward to hearing a bit more about these tonight. And I do know that some of the folk who join us quite regularly are interested as well. So I don't know who's going to kick off talking about them, but
Sarah probably better because mine's more centered around Skinwalker Ranch. So if
all
Sarah
right.
wanted to do the more general thing about skinwalkers, that'd be great.
Sounds good. Skinwalkers, they're originally from the, I don't know if I pronounce it right, is it Navajo tribe, Native American?
Navajo,
yeah. Different tribes have kind of got their own skinwalkers kind of type thing, but I've heard that they don't like to say the word skinwalker, so the native kind of word is, again, I don't know if I pronounced it right, Yinalushi. I think, is that how you pronounce it? I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll bow to you. I it the same.
And they are almost shapeshiftery kind of things, but they're quite not good things, or can be quite evil kind of things. I've heard a thing that they come from the medicine men, in Navajo tribes, and that they would have things, but they would be kind of people in the tribe, mostly men, that would, kind of help out the tribes and stuff, but they would turn to the darker side of the spiritual kind of thing and then become the skinwalker. And there's been sightings of them, and they can shapeshift into people, to animals, and their eyes can be quite animalistic if they are human. They're said to have almost take their eyes from the animal. So if you were to see, like, it's usually wolves and owls that they take the form of, and use them as their eyes to kind of lure in their prey. I've read up on things that you can almost hear someone you know's voice in the distance and be drawn towards it, but it wouldn't actually be them, it would be a skinwalker. Sightings of them being crawling around on the floor or being an actual person. I did read one thing that there was a guy, he was driving along and he had something running beside his car that then went in front of his car and slammed on the bonnet and then disappeared. I'd be quite scared if I saw that. Lost my train of thought now.
They're quite clear. So are they? I know we're talking here that they're certainly felt as being. Do we use the word evil?
They're quite dark.
Dark, yeah.
Dark.
I mean,
they're evil.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was the theory that in Scotland that witches could turn themselves into animals, especially hares and things like that. But no, it doesn't sound anywhere near as extreme as what a skinwalker sounds like. And I mean, I was looking at some imagery today, and I have seen some videos in the past, and of people who believe that they've captured on film, and they look absolutely terrifying. They look like something like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's chilling. I've seen videos of, like, there was one I saw of a guy on his horse, and he heard someone as if like going, like, shouting "hey," and he would stop and he'd be like, "What is that?" And even the horse was getting spooked. And if I was to hear that, it sounded like a child's voice in the video. I don't know how real it is, but it is quite chilling.
Yeah. Peter saying he was actually watching skinwalkers earlier in Mexico. Very interesting.
Well, I actually recently read a thing about what was it called? It was a tribe. Some of the tribes were sent out of America, and they'd went near Mexico, and they can do things with, like, their crops and stuff. And for 4 years, their crops were bad, and eventually put them back. They were allowed back into America again, and everything was kind of fine. But there was still activity with said skinwalkers, and they were said to have done that to kind of get them back to their tribal land. I can't remember what it's called, but there was a lot of activity in Mexico about it as well.
Okay. Eric's saying there you have to kill someone that you care about to become a skinwalker.
They do like a whole ritual kind of thing. Okay. I also read if you are a skinwalker, you've got to know their name to kill them, or something like that. I read that. That was one theory. Whether or not that's true.
Okay. Sounds absolutely fascinating and terrifying at the same time. It's proper bogeyman material, isn't it? Really. Linda's saying, I watch YouTube videos where people have alleged there are dogmen in some US national parks, so I don't know if there is a connection to skinwalkers. Could be.
Could be. I've actually not read up on dogmen.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely fascinating. Fascinating subject. And I don't know, but I know that the tribal police are the ones that take care of them. I'm not sure what Eric means by taking care of them. That means, but yeah, but yeah, it's I would imagine it is fascinating. And I think they are actually one creature that actually has probably been filmed a lot more than a lot of other things. I mean, if we look at Bigfoot, for instance, if we're staying in the kind of American area, there's not actually that many sighting video footage of Bigfoot. There's a few, but there seems to be a heck of a lot of skinwalker videos
They've
out
boomed
there.
a lot recently.
Yeah, but again, as you said, how many are genuine?
You just don't know.
Don't know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Eric's confirming theirs. Get rid of them. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So absolutely fascinating. So Lynn, Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch. I was lucky to get hold of a link, so I've managed to catch up on season 3. It's being shown on History Channel. Season 3 is shown on the History Channel tonight at 9, and it's on episode 3 already. It didn't link up, but I've already watched them. So Skinwalker Ranch is in Utah. So skinwalkers, as Zara said, are thought to be community healers who became corrupted by the power they mustered and turned to evil. And it was said that such witches were able to possess or even transform themselves into wild animals like coyotes and bears. And this power is alluded to in the Navajo name. Whatever Zara said, I'm even going to... which means with it he goes on all fours. So the Navajo didn't really stay near the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. That was the Ute tribe, the First Nation tribe. But the Navajos enslaved the Utes and put curses on the Utes. And there's a story that the theory that unleashed skinwalkers around this area, which Skinwalker Ranch is based in. So Skinwalker Ranch is about a 500 odd acre ranch in Utah. And it was bought up and started in the 1930s by the Myers. But things I first became aware of in the beginning of the 1990s through my UFO magazine that I used to get, with just strange, well, obviously UFO sightings, but other strange things like cattle mutilations and things disappearing, animals disappearing, things in the house, the ranch house disappearing, they to put locks in the cupboards, things disappearing and reappearing, and so that was the Shermans that hit it in the 1990s. Let's see. They saw orange circular doorways that seemed to appear in midair, and a red glowing thing that lit the whole side of the mountain up like broad daylight. And actually, in I think either season 1 or season 2, they actually caught the mesa glowing. You can either get beam-like projections of light coming off it, or it glows. There's a glow green coming from it. So it's really odd, and they've caught that on camera. There's an inexplicable deaths of several cows. One animal was found with a hole in its eyeball, but otherwise untouched. A second cow also had a hole in the eye, along with another in its rectum. And just like the cattle mutilations, like fine cuts, no blood kind of thing. And they actually, in again season 1 or season 2 of Skinwalker Ranch, they had a cow pass away on camera. The cows were all bunched up. Something appeared in the sky like a UFO, and this cow just dropped. So then the other cows went away, and they got the vet in. It was a pneumonia, but it must have been a real sudden onset pneumonia and stress, the vet thought. And so they did the necropsy, and then they took in America, they just put the carcasses out for animals to scavenge. Rather than here, we've got to dispose of them hygienically. And a year later, they go, is it season 3, they go back, and the carcass is still not touched by animals. There's not, it's obviously decayed in that time, but it's not been scavenged by animals. The animals refuse to go near that carcass. So after the family, the Shermans, was it the Shermans? Yeah, the Shermans discussed circles of flattened grass, much like our crop circles, curious markings in the soil. They took this for so long, and then they were desperate to sell up. They had had enough. The things going in the house, things going in the land. It was eating into their livelihoods, the amount of cattle that they were losing. There was one incredible story, and it was actually witnessed by the sheriff. The cows, he was a high-end breeder of cattle. Some of these cows went missing. They called the sheriff, and the sheriff came, and they actually were found alive, piled on top of each other in a container on the farm. And how the heck they can't explain to the day how they managed to get 4 cows, breeding cows, into a container piled on top of each other, and it's sealed up. So yeah, there was so much strange stuff. So they decided to sell up, and then in the government, by this time the stories had been in the press and going around. So the government decided to, and this is where we get connections with ETIP, and we all know about ETIP from the Tic Tac videos. So Robert Bigelow comes in. He's a big government contractor, the space field, and he buys it up, and he sets up NIDS, and that's his group. He brings in a group of scientists he seals it off, fences it off, you can't get in and out, and brings in a group of scientists who just basically study it with scientific equipment to see if they can get to the bottom of it. And this goes on for quite a number of years. And a lot of the documents are still classified. So we don't know too much about what they find. There is some stories about the Mesa and some of the things that they did, but we can't get the documents. So roll up a couple of years ago, the Robert Bigelow sells up and closes down. And Brandon Fugel, he is a big businessman in Utah, Salt Lake City. So he buys up the property, and this is the program stems from this. So he's allowed the cameras in to document what he wants to get to the bottom of it now. So it's quite a good series. They've got what's his name, astrophysicist. He was also employed by the government and to do with ATIP as well. So Dr. Travis Taylor. So he brings in Dr. Travis Taylor. He's got other scientists in, he's got security, and he's got farm ranch. And then continuing, we still, like I said, seeing these strange things. In season 1, they bring some llamas into the property, kind of like a trigger object. And not long after that, they get attacked. And they're quite high grass, bushy land they were grazing. So they kind of get a good look, that it was on camera, and they kind of get a good look at what attacked the llama. But it was big, and there was deep gouges, and to get the vet in to stitch it up, and then they shipped them out after that. And things like digging on the land seem to trigger events as well. This season 3, they call this the anomaly of the triangle. It's basically a set of tracks, the triangle in the land, and they've flown planes over it to get radar, and there seems to be an anomaly up in the air. Are you able to get in your emails, Liam? I very quickly emailed you through 3 photos.
Yeah, 2 seconds. You carry on talking. I'll go have a look.
So this triangle area, they've flown over it. The radar goes a bit loopy. It tracks a radar around it, and then it shows them flying into the mesa, which is not what they're doing. They're about a few thousand feet up. So something is going. And even they were dropping plastic bottles with trackers down all around the property. And in this area, it seemed that when they drop the bottle, it seems to go off to one side like something's there. It deflects the bottles. And this ties into portals. At the very end of season 2 last year, they decided to 3D scan the area. So they could put on the computer and move around the area and zoom in and pull out and cover the area quickly. And the photos, if you can bring them up, that they were going through the photos, walking through the land on the computer, and then out in this mid-air, there's this anomaly that the 3D laser scanner has picked up, and it's quite amazing if you're able to get it up. So it kind of ties in. You often hear Zach Bagans going on about portals, but this is one heck of a portal if they've managed to 3D scan it. And they found a smaller one near a set of stones that I think has been used as with First Nation rituals. There's a little one there, and then there's a bigger one up in the air. So it kind of ties into the portals and our skinwalkers coming through and going away. Have you found them now?
Yeah, I'm just in the middle. Unfortunately, I've got to put them into a kind of PowerPoint presentation. StreamYard will just show a picture. So if you just keep talking,
yes,
2 minutes.
Season 3 has been very interesting. Less on the cattle mutilation front or that sort of thing, but yeah, there's anomalies. They've caught on camera. They did. It was a rabbi they brought in to say a prayer kind of thing, and that seemed to trigger off a lot. They put the roll cameras on one of the homesteads. A lot of the phenomena centres around some of the homesteads 1 and 2, and so they put cameras on. They'd temperature, the infrared, everything, and they got the rabbi to do this prayer, and it triggered something. So there's temperature changes, there was movement, so there's a lot of unusual phenomena there. I would love to investigate there.
Oh, so good.
Really be scared, but be really amazing. So yeah, and towards the end of season 3, they decided to shoot some rockets up through this anomaly as well. And the first one just didn't go, and the biggest one, they were sending a really big one. It's going through a lot of sensors, and it exploded on the Brandon Fugel pressed the button, and it just went boom. there's a lot of things that brought in to scan the area that their equipment just fails. And that was a really spectacular fail as well. But that was really interesting to see when the 3D scans came out right at the end of the season. They also drilled into the mesa this season, and it seemed to hit something really hard. It was kind of bending a bit down, and then up a wee bit. They did get flakes of metal out, which are very rare. And there was one metal on one side and another metal on the other side of the flake as well, which is really unusual. They wouldn't normally be found together like that. So a lot of questions.
It sounds absolutely fascinating. Before I put these slides up, there's quite a few comments, so I'll just quickly fly through them. Emma's asking, where can you watch it? I know you mentioned already was the History Channel. Eric's mentioned on.
Yeah, if you've got Sky, I think History's on Freeview because I don't work Freeview. There are links that you can watch it for free as well. If you go onto the History, the Skinwalker Ranch page, and search links for Skinwalker Ranch, they'll pop up. Or just ask a question, where can I watch it?
Yeah.
They'll probably tell you because that's where I found it. I couldn't wait to the autumn when America was getting it in early summer.
Yeah, Lorna's saying, I'd not heard of this either. Well, I'd heard of it, but I thought it was just in films and horror stories.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that's maybe where us skinwalkers, for us in the UK, maybe that's kind of where we first, some of us, I think probably from my point of view, that's where I would have first came across a skinwalker. But then obviously as you kind of get more involved in watching paranormal stuff and reading paranormal stuff, the name crops up. But yeah, certainly could. They certainly have appeared in horror films. I'm pretty sure of it.
Oh yeah, you Google that, yeah, they'll come up with films. But a lot of probably post.
Yeah, Eric's saying look up America's declassified files. I think that was maybe with regards to what you were saying earlier, Lynn.
The Black Vault by John Greenwald is really good as well. He proactively files Freedom of Information Acts and gets lots of stuff declassified.
Okay. Peter saying one thing's for sure, skinwalkers are evil. He's also saying, from what I've seen on this program earlier, the locals say skinwalkers hang about graveyards and dig up the dead. Yeah. And Mum was seen doing this at a great speed. Linda's asking, have skinwalkers been around since Native American times? I think that's kind of what you were saying earlier, Zara, wasn't it? That's kind of where their origin comes from, the Indian tribes.
Each tribe's kind of got their own version of one as well.
Yeah. Apparently, don't lock eyes with them, is what Peter's saying.
Yeah, difficult when you're running the other direction.
You've got no time to lock eyes with them if you're running away from them.
Probably I probably would be running the opposite direction.
They're fast though, apparently.
Eric's saying that portals, that's where I believe shadow people come from, is portals. He's also saying, Lynn, cute cat. And Mark is saying channel 129 tonight on Sky. So if anyone's wanting to watch Skinwalker.
Yeah, it's a History Channel.
10 o'clock apparently, 10 p.m.
9 on the History Channel.
9 on the History Channel, is it?
On Sky. Right. Sky History HD is 123. 129 and Sky is the Nat Geo channel.
Right.
and it's definitely a 9 on Sky History. I think the Blaze on Sky has been shown either season 1 or 2. You get the older seasons on there, like Curse at Oak Island as well. But it's definitely a History Channel on Sky, channel 1, 2, 3 at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure the Discovery Plus streaming service as well has them, because it has all the paranormal shows.
Yeah,
and yeah, probably does as well.
So I don't know we can actually post links to free sites, but just go on the Skinwalker page, and you'll probably find it, or just ask a question and somebody will point in the right direction to the free streaming. That's where I watched it. It was quite good. It was there was good quality.
Yeah, I think I've caught a little bit, but I've never caught. I want to go back and watch it from the start rather than, midway through season 2 or 3 or something.
Not even including some of the radiation spikes they get out of nowhere. They all wear radiation detectors. And season 1, Dr. Travis Taylor was at one of the homesteads, and he decided to lift the lid of the cistern or the septic tank, and just as he did that, there was a spike, and he actually got a radiation burn in his finger. He had to go to hospital to get that checked out, and then you go back in the check and it's gone. And there's been another spike in another place, and other people have had skin anomalies, and then there's just been dead feet in the way as well. So yeah, there's a lot of unusual. They've found this season, season 3, a spike in noise frequency about the 6,000 hertz mark. When the activity starts, they detect this spike, and it's always at the same rate. So I wonder what that's about.
Interesting. So Eric's confirmed Discovery Plus is what he was talking about. Blaze Freeview Channel 64 plus catch up on their website.
Yeah.
And Sky History as well.
Yeah.
Plus 10, so plus 110. So yeah, it's okay. Right, I'll fire up these slides for you. I'll put them I believe they're in order.
Well, right. So this is a higher up view. So they're 3D laser scanning the whole property, so they can at their leisure go through it on the computer and look for maybe things they want to explore for the next episodes. And this just popped out on the scanner. Then you went to click forward. And that's it, looking the other way. And then the third one is from far away. So this is where they were walking through the landscape on their computer. And then they were, what the heck is that? And then the previous 2 is the close-ups. And this is roughly where they've had the trouble of kind of shooting either rockets up to deploy detectors or throwing things down from helicopters, and even they rented a plane to go backwards and forwards to map things, and it wasn't showing up in their equipment either. And there was one time they were up in the helicopter and the alarm kept going off because it was showing something up 50 feet below the helicopter, and they were looking out and seeing nothing. So the alarm shouldn't have been going off. And this is the area where they've detected this anomaly, a portal. Is this a portal? Things are coming in and going out, or trans-dimensional? It is very, very, I've never seen anything like this before.
No, I mean, that's fascinating. So clearly there shouldn't be anything there.
No.
There's nothing reaching up into the sky.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing to naked eye, nothing on photo, nothing film, and the 3D laser scanned this, and this is what popped up.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely fascinating. And one I bet the scientists can't answer. So
Not yet.
not yet. Absolutely fascinating. Um, Lauren is asking, do you know if it's always there?
Well, they would need to rescan the area again. So I'm not sure if they'll do that in season 4 or not. They'll just have finished filming this. We'll have to wait till next spring, early summer to find that out. They'd need to rescan it and see.
Yeah, but obviously they've had the issues with the rockets. They've had the issues with the, with the helicopter. As you mentioned, Mark, they're saying, yeah, last year there was an impact warning in the helicopter. So yeah, absolutely fascinating. I definitely have to go and watch that series. Add it to my long list of series to watch. Yeah. Yeah, I think confused is what Peter's saying. Yeah, I think we're all a bit confused by that one. Absolutely fine. Great capture, actually. Great
Yeah,
capture.
I
Yeah.
really took them by surprise when they saw it. And like I said, there's not far away, there's a set of 3 or so stones that they think has been a ritual site for the Utes. There's like a spiral round it, so like a processional walkway into these stones, and there's a little one comes off of that stones. So you does make you wonder about portal.
Yeah, well, I mean, the ancients definitely seem to have a much better grasp on energies and things than we do right now. So yeah, it's certainly fascinating. And I mean, even when you go to places like Clava Cairns and that, and you know that it's lying on ley lines, and these lines line up with other Neolithic, monuments all over the country and beyond. It really is fascinating. But yeah, I think Lauren is asking there, obviously, so it isn't seen by the human eye, just in the area looking. Yeah.
No,
So
nothing seen. And like this, like they say that when they were throwing these bottles out the helicopter with the sensors in it, they could see that there was no wind that should have been carrying them that far away for that day. They're throwing them out the helicopter, going straight down, and then sort of deflecting off of it. And they could see that with the naked eye, that the bottles were going away because they put streamers on them, and some deflected quite a distance. But there's nothing there. Again, the helicopters flying, and then they get this alarm that something was below the helicopter within 50 feet. And they're looking out and there's nothing there. So for safety reasons, they have to then go away and land. And the same when they put the plane up and it was doing that circle. So you see the patterns in the sky sometimes when they're unholding. And it was just going round and doing oblongs over the land to scan. Again, the trouble with equipment that didn't work, and then going over that area, it wasn't picking up the anomaly. And in one of the scans flying the helicopter, it showed them going in, the data showed them going into the mesa, the track the helicopter went into to the side of the mountain. And obviously it didn't. Something was deflecting the radio signals of the scans again. So yeah, so it's nothing seen there. There's when something happens, they call this a triangle area. Something happens, they usually see something in the sky, something black or white will come up, and they've got their flight trackers up. There's no flight planes in the area, so and then it disappears kind of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff goes on there.
yeah, absolutely fascinating. And I think a few people on here tonight are off to watch this to find out more, and probably hopefully sleep okay afterwards. We were actually going to talk about folklore tonight, but we're not going to have any time to do anything about folklore tonight, which I don't mind. I mean, this has been absolutely fascinating. Lindsay's saying there, one of the best energies I've come across was in a wee house I was selling when I worked in property in Drumnadrochit by Loch Ness, for those not in the area. Definitely on ley lines. And we've done a few investigations with houses that we believe are on ley lines as well. And they're interesting. They're interesting. It definitely seems to be energies travel along them. And you can actually have ley lines diverted. I think we've mentioned it on here before. Round your house rather than going through your house, and some people have had that done. Apparently we won't sleep well. To Eric. So yeah, absolutely fascinating. On a sort of lighter note, Lynn, we don't have a what's in the bag tonight, we have a what's in the box. Yeah, what's in the box. So we've got about 10 minutes if anyone wants to have a guess as to what is in the box. I have no idea. So, but yeah, what's in the box?
Mine, I'll forget.
Yeah. Lauren is asking, do you think ley lines can have bad energies? Good question. Mm-hmm. There is some belief that spirit travels along ley lines. And that's one of the reasons why people sometimes want them diverted around their house so that the spirits won't come in through their house. And I mean, I suppose if you go down the theory of spirits being good and evil, yeah, possibly. But I've not personally come across any that in the locations we've been at. There's never been any kind of issues with anything that's been in a building that's had ley lines going through it. But probably possible. Now there was one I just want to go on that came in earlier. That caught my eye. I need to find it again. It was from Chris. Hopefully Chris is. I'm not sure if Chris is still on or not. Has anyone had any experience with a ghost on the A9 between Helmsdale and Thurso? So I'm not aware of any. I do know of stories between Inverness and Perth. And actually, Kirsty, who used to be in the group, actually had an experience on the road where there was a man on the road, and then he just vanished. But I'm not aware of any in the Helmsdale or Thurso area that has been reported to us. Yeah, Chris is still on. Yeah, so sorry, Chris. But if anyone knows of anything, let us know. We're always being told. New stories and experiences that people are having. Right. Stephen thinks it's an address book in the box.
Do you want me to say now?
No, it just you can say yes or no.
Okay.
Is it an address? No. Okay, so let's see if anyone else is willing to have a go at it. Lindsay is saying a coin.
Nope.
Mark.
Nope.
Too easy, Mark. Too easy. Not. It's Lynn we're talking about here. It'll be tough. They're coming in fast now. Cigars. Lauren is saying a small photograph in a frame.
Nope.
No. Carol is saying a key.
Nope.
Eric is saying lots of cat treats. Chris is saying paper.
Nope.
No. Can you give? I think so. Do you want to give everybody a clue?
Bling. Bling.
Bling. Oh, bling. Okay. Lorna was saying a silver spoon. Lindsay, a UFO pin.
I don't think I've actually got one of those.
No?
No.
pen?
Nope. No.
She means teaspoons. Necklace.
No.
Bracelet.
No.
Crystal.
No.
No. No. No. I would guess a kind of golden badge from a certain TV series, but
No.
that well. No.
I've got a silver one in my pink jacket.
All right. Chris is saying a gemstone.
Oh, that's close. Ish.
A ring?
It's a ring.
It's a ring. Right. Okay. It's a ring. So well done to.
Okay, one must be one out of a cracker because it's got like a plastic gemstone.
That's bling. That's proper bling.
I'm not sure where it came from. It's just lying inside this fish tank. So.
Maybe it's Colin's.
Well, we've been redecorating, so everything's all nice. So I'm not sure where it's come from, actually. It's always like your little kiddie's little ring.
Yeah, so well done to Linda and Margaret, who both have basically at the same time said a ring, and thanks to everybody for taking part as well. There's a few more guesses there. A lot of people guessing a brooch, but yeah. So well done to, as I said, to Linda and Margaret there. So yeah, we've almost come to the end tonight. It's, as I said, we're trying now to make these a bit more focused on subjects. So obviously Lynn and Alex did UFOs last time around. We had planned to do skinwalkers and a bit on Scottish folklore tonight, but that presentation can be put on ice until maybe the next time, and we'll move forward with that at that point. We'll try and get another virtual meet in before Christmas, definitely. I'm not sure if there's going to be another open meet at Touchwood. If there's enough people interested, we can probably certainly do it. So if folk are interested, let us know. Ghost walk wise, I have one in October, which is now fully booked. I'll try and slot in a November one as well. Probably won't be one in December, just a bit near Christmas. But again, if there's any groups of people who want to do one specifically, let me know. Just message the page, and we'll do that.
Have a natter near Halloween.
Yeah, I think should we have another quiz? Should we have a quiz or a?
If folk want to do some on Halloween, we'll just put a post on the page or comment. And
that's an idea. Yes, let's do that. Let's
start saying we're going to do a Halloween one. What do you want? Do you want a chat about Halloween myths and things, or childhoods, and or quiz, or?
Yeah, I can tell you something. I can trump your skinwalkers because I've been looking at these old pictures of Halloween geysers. And they're the most terrifying things I've ever seen in my life.
They're awful.
Yeah. Ghost ones. I've seen some of those.
Yeah, they're pretty horrific. They are. If you met them on a dark night on Halloween night, you would turn and you would run in the other direction.
Oh, yeah. I did. In a local Facebook page, there's a man who's been writing some stories, and they're ghosty stories. And I've asked him if I could read one of them out, maybe around Halloween. So that might be something we could do as well. I could read one of the ghost stories out that he's given permission from me to do that. And they're in Doric, but I'll Englishify it a bit.
And Doric's like a second language.
Yeah. So yeah, you can let us know. Quiz is quite popular, but yeah, I'd be up for doing it. I think we'll open it up to the folk. There's obviously some folk who can't make it tonight, so we'll open it up on the page and see what people think. So yeah, I'll just quickly go through them. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know you guys are with TAPS. Yeah, we're part of the TAPS family, Eric. So there's a network of groups across the world who basically follow the same ethos as TAPS, and we would pick up cases for them in this area, if asked. But it also lets us have a much but inroads into a much bigger resource of a lot of very experienced people who've been investigating the paranormal for years upon years across the world. So we can go and pick their brains as well when we need to, which is really, really good. Carol's saying really enjoyed it. Thank you. Would love to hear about some Scottish folklore. So yeah, we'll definitely do some stuff on Scottish folklore. I had put together a lot of slides around the creatures and that we've already posted about on the page in the past. But yeah, I'll be happy to do something. I know Zara's been looking into it as well, so yeah, we'll be happy to do that. I'm not going to put up Lindsay's comment about the geysers and a bit like Dingwall on a Saturday night. Just put through there. Lorna says she can speak Doric. So there you
Okay.
go.
It's not very. It's Doric. It's written in Doric, but it's understandable. But
I always feel like I need to speak proper every time I come to your way.
Yes.
Really
Yeah, I think the accent thing is really funny, and how it comes out in people at sometimes. My mum was an example. My mum used to always phone my auntie. My auntie lives in Elgin, Murray. She's got a very Murray accent. My mum hasn't. But when my mum spoke to my auntie, all of a sudden my mum's voice changed. The Murray dialect came out. So yeah.
How different, like where I am in Elgin is. It's quite different.
Yeah.
And we're only like 15 minutes away.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really interesting. Yeah, Lindsay's saying she loves hearing Doric. Peter enjoyed the show. Hi, Beth.
No thanks.
Lauren, everyone really enjoyed it. Lynn, you presented really well. So, and yeah, so yeah, I believe the same things they do for debunking and investigating. Yeah, you've got to. You've got to. Doesn't make you popular all the time, Eric, but you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
I think there's. I'd probably be only on the. Is it Discovery or which ones is it? Ghost Hunters are on. There's a new season of Ghost Hunters coming up in middle October.
Yeah.
The Paramount. It must be Discovery Plus channel or app.
Yeah, we I think it's Discovery Ghost Hunters is on, so it's normally Discovery Plus here, and then it slowly gets on to
there's a new season coming up, so that's huge.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Ghost Adventures has just started this past week on the Discovery app as well. I always give it a watch because it's good entertainment or nothing else. I'm going to invent a game called Tibbs. You just knocked the light off. Ghost Adventures Bingo.
Yeah, demonic. Demon.
Put a grid on and put all the squares on, like demon, portal.
Yeah.
Go by yourself.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely way to do it. I think that's the only way I could watch it these days, to be perfectly honest.
They occasionally get something good.
Yeah.
I think more by accident than by design.
Yeah. Yeah. Beth's asking, do you explore abandoned buildings? I do this regularly, and the paranormal experience is amazing. We would only we wouldn't investigate a building if it's fenced off or anything. But yeah, if a building's abandoned and it's open, yeah, there's no law in Scotland to prevent you from going in. So yeah, we would look at it. And actually, a case we're working on just now is very much in that vein. So we're quite excited for that one. So yeah, we have done a few in the past, and I'm sure we'll do a few more going forward. And they're always interesting. Okay. Well, guys, I think that's about it. Can I say a massive thanks to Zara and Lynn for tonight, making my night easy again. And I found it really fascinating. The subject, as I think most folk on here did, and I'm certainly off to watch in YouTube videos and TV to find out more. We will be.
Get the programs, so if you kind of find, just put them on YouTube, you'll get it in clips. History Channel put on a lot of good clips. Some are 10 minutes long, so there's a 10-minute long one on the anomaly on YouTube for the History Channel.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. If we find anything that's on, what we can post up as well. If we find anything on like YouTube or something like that. I know we can't post anything that's going off to certain types of sites. But you know, if we will try and post some links up, even to the TV channels and stuff like that. We'll have a look and see what we can do over the next day or so. So thanks again, guys, for joining. Thanks for taking part. Your comments are always welcome, and there's been some good comments tonight as well. So stay safe, and we will catch up with you all in the near future. Okay, bye bye. Night all.